now this discussion is being watched by so many future CEOs and leaders. What is the last word that you can give for them as a guidance or advice or anything you like to give some comment?
Okay, so when you say that there are many future CEOs who are looking the program, what I wanted to kind of start with is that question kind of implies that you wanted to be a CEO and you kind of everyone should try to be a CEO. I think all of us try to be happy. Whether not to be a CEO, whether you can be happy by being a CEO, that's fine, but I'm sure there are 1,000 other ways for you to have a happy life without being a CEO. But then coming back to the question of the advice or the comments for anyone who would like to be a CEO, one of the most critical things that we got to highlight or know is there's a huge difference between leadership and management, and for you to be able to identify what really leadership is, we are struggling as a country to distinguish leadership from the management. As an example, if you look at someone who is handling a project and he handles perfect, there are 100 people who are working for him, he controls what's happening on every day, there's a plan for every day, there's a plan for everyone. Let's say it's a 2 months project is successful on the dot, within the cost. It doesn't mean it's great leadership, it means great management. Leadership is different. Leadership is how you get your team to do their best, how you inspire teams to do what they thought is impossible. Leadership is something else. So I think that's a key message for everyone who wants to be a CEO, who wants to be a happy life. You got to realize that you got to be a leader. You should try to be a leader. There are enough who are confused with those. There are enough people who call themselves whatever the name, director, CEO, manager, whatever it is, and they control things, they monitor things. So they are great managers. They're not leaders. Nothing wrong with great managers, but then you got to know it's not leadership. That's the starting point, I think. Starting point is to realize leadership is something different. Then you will start practicing that. I mean, someone comes to you and talk to you. When that person goes back, he thinks how great you are, then you are a great manager. When someone comes and talks to you for 10 minutes and he goes back and he thinks how great he himself is, then you are a great leader. So that difference has to be made. It's not about yourself, it's about kind of inspiring everyone else to do their best. So that's the first point in my mind. That's the first thing one should do. Second thing one shall do, if possible, is to realize that we should try to be great human beings, and that will resolve all the problems that we have in either in leadership or management. So then we'll have to have a process of unlearning all the management that we have learned and try to be a good human being. You don't need to have a theory to respect your team. If you are a good human being, you will respect your team. You don't need to motivate, you don't need to do anything else to motivate the team. If you go and tell the truth, they'll be motivated. If you go and tell what you are doing and what's going to happen, they'll be motivated. So I think all of us, to answering your question, all the people who want to be a CEO should realize that you should try to be a great human being, and rest of the problems will resolve by itself. Having said that, there are enough organizations, and we try to make the same at Danko as much as possible. I work for Hydra Harmony for 12 years, which has huge impact in me in whatever I do. I mean, 12 years is too long for you to kind of not have an impact. So we have seen organizations like that, and I have personally a huge impact from some of the gentlemen who were within the Hydra Harmony life, like people like Janak Hydra Harmony, Ton Raja, Ranil Padrana. Whether they were great leaders or great managers is irrelevant. They were great human beings. That resolved the problem of management and leadership both. So therefore my second point is you should try to be a great human being. That will resolve a lot of issues. But it's difficult to be a great human being these days because we have put a lot of management on top of the human being, so you can't take that human qualities easily up because a lot of management is pushing hard. But if you really want to go by the management, go ahead with that. given the broader scope of being a good human being. So I think that's the message. That's the message. And you should not try to be like someone else. You should try to be yourself. My team will never be a CEO like me. They'll be the CEOs that they can best be. Hopefully, they will be better than me in the work that they are going to do in the future. So everyone is different. So you can't put everyone into one framework and try to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and you do that in that order, things will streamline. It is just to see the differences in the people and help them to do better. That's the secret. That's the secret, and that's the only way to go forward. Rest is kind of clerical work. Given the technological changes that are happening, a lot of the rest of the things will be looked after by the technology itself. Why you need human beings is to make that difference. So that's the difference that you can make. And I wish everyone to make that difference in their life, for themselves, for the team, for the organization, and for the country. That's all.
That's it. Be a great human being, and that's a wonderful last message. And thank you very much, Chandra.
My pleasure.
That was indeed an insightful and inspiring discussion. Thank you very much.
Hope this will be helpful for many to become groom as leaders. Thank you very much. And would like to say now, these days we can't shake hands or these things, so I won.
Thank you.
Thank you.